What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we want to have a look at 5 attackers Manchester City could sign this summer to potentially replace Jesus and Sterling. So I am expecting Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling to leave Manchester City this summer, and with that being said, I am expecting with 2 out, 1 potentially to come in. If it doesn't happen this summer, it will happen next summer. So I want to have a look at some players that City could sign. But before I do crack on with this video, do make sure you have subscribed if you haven't already. We've got daily Manchester City transfer updates coming for you guys throughout all the summer transfer windows, so do make sure you have subscribed to stay up to date every single day with the latest Manchester City transfer news on YouTube. Also, don't forget social media links, they're in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. 300 likes is the aim, so if we could hit that, that would be brilliant. And do let me know in the comments below if 1 attacker is to be signed this summer to replace Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling, which player would you want City to sign? So I have already-ish kind of looked at this with a replacement for Raheem Sterling. So I just want to have a look at some more players that are out there. And also with the fact that Jesus is leaving, also leaves it open for City, not just to have a look at potentially a winger, but also what you would class as versatile forwards who could play on the left, play on the right, play through the centre as well. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about here. So either new names or different kind of players that could offer something to Manchester City. So the first player I want to speak about, and this is done in no particular order, is Raphinha. Now, he's the Brazilian winger for Leeds United. He's 25 years old, so it would make sense for that kind of age bracket that City would normally look for to make a move to sign an attacking player. There's also a sell-on value there that should 2 or 3 years down the line these players want to leave, then City, of course, have got a few years left on the contract. They've got the right age that they can sell them and potentially make some money in the meantime as well. He made 35 appearances in the Premier League last season, scoring 11 and assisting 3, and to me, that's not bad at all. You can see why there's interest from Arsenal, Spurs and Barcelona at the moment. He's apparently available for around 60 to 70 million euros, but there is no mention of Manchester City's name as of yet. I did just want to mention Raphinha as he is a player that we haven't spoken about before. And another player we haven't really spoken about is Jarrod Bowen, the 25-year-old winger, again of the age bracket City are normally looking for. He plays for West Ham United. Now, the advantage we've got with Bowen here is he is homegrown, so Sterling leaving means that we lose a homegrown player, so Bowen being brought in would make sense to bring in a homegrown player. Of course, there is a reason why City are after Calvin Phillips from Leeds United to replace Fernandinho. That's a non-homegrown player out and a homegrown player brought in, so it doesn't necessarily mean that with Sterling leaving it has to be a homegrown player brought in, but it does make life a little bit easier for Manchester City when it comes to that quota when registering players for the Premier League and the Champions League. Now, Jarrod Bowen made 36 appearances for West Ham last season, scoring 12 goals, assisting 10. He's had a brilliant campaign for West Ham. You can see why he's in and around the England squad now. You can see why top clubs like Manchester City are getting linked with Bowen. Problem is, a little bit like Declan Rice, I don't really know any idea on price. I imagine West Ham, they'll know that other clubs will come sniffing around, are going to put a big money offer on his head there for him to leave West Ham like they have with Declan Rice. Bowen, of course, coming with Premier League premiums and being English as well, and the homegrown premium as well, makes it a very expensive transfer when, quite frankly, there'll be cheaper alternatives and some will argue better alternatives out there for Manchester City as well. Now, a player I really like and a player I really want Manchester City to sign, there's 2. Nkunku, who I'm not going to really talk about on this video, as I've already mentioned him on the other video. If you want to go and check that out, then that is on my channel. But it's Heung-Min of Tottenham Hotspur. He's the dream in my opinion. 29 years old, South Korean winger, made 35 appearances last season, scoring 23 goals and getting 7 assists. He's the current Premier League Golden Boot winner. He's amazing. He's an absolutely brilliant player. I remember saying last summer, City were after Harry Kane, and all they were speaking about all summer when it came to attackers was Harry Kane. And I was just saying there's a player at Tottenham Hotspur, an attacker, that I'd rather have than Harry Kane, and Son is the player I would really like Manchester City to have. Now, this is a transfer that would be a lot easier if Tottenham Hotspur weren't in the Champions League, but they are, so it's very unrealistic that any club would be making a move for him. It would be a very expensive transfer, but what Son does possess is something that is pretty hard to come by, and that is the fact that he does improve our squad. In my opinion, Son is a better, more complete player than what Jesus or Raheem Sterling is. So to me, there aren't many players out there that make City more formidable than what we can be, but Son is definitely one of them. And what I really like is when we brought in Erling Haaland and he gave his shirt over to his father when they were both reacting to Alfie's time at Manchester City and some of his footballing moments, gave his father a shirt after obviously Alf gave Erling a shirt when he was a child with dad on the back and gave it him with Son on the back to repay the favour, and Alf made a very sarcastic comment saying that Son doesn't play for Manchester City, so we could potentially see kind of a bit of foreshadowing. I like it, but it's also incredibly unrealistic. Now, another player I want to speak about, and we have already spoken about this, but I'm going to keep mentioning it anyway because, well, my video when I want to, is Leroy Sane, the German winger, former Manchester City man, 26 years old, sold to us by Bayern. We sold him, obviously, to Bayern Munich back in 2020 for a price worth around 60 million euros. It was a flat 45 million euros fee, with Sane at the time having 1 year left on his contract. Could we see him return back to Manchester City? Well, the advantage is he knows the club, he knows the Premier League, he knows the coaches here, so you already have all them boxes ticked, and you know that Leroy Sane, if he was given a full season at City, would do very, very well. The problem is, I don't think Pep's too keen on him. Pep didn't like his work rate, he looked frustrated at times with him, and so I just don't see Pep wanting to or sanctioning a move for Leroy Sane. Now, what we never really saw much of Leroy Sane was on the right-hand side for City. It was always on the left-hand side, making direct runs. Well, City, over the last couple of years, have adapted our wingers to be able to cut in, and Leroy Sane is very good. Get him on the right-hand side, beat players for pace, and cut in onto his wand of a left foot, and it's very similar to Riyad Mahrez. To me, Leroy Sane isn't as technically gifted as what Riyad Mahrez is. However, what he does have is power and precision with his shooting, and also the pace that Riyad Mahrez doesn't possess as well. So it gives us two excellent options there on the right hand side, with two players that can be them intervented wingers that can cut in and help Manchester City out. To me, it would be a brilliant signing. I'd be more than happy for him to come into Manchester City. Can you imagine an attacking front three of Phil Foden on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side, and Sane on the other flank with Erling Haaland leading the line? It's absolutely formidable. It is frightening. Now, to me, Sane would be an affordable transfer. He hasn't exactly lit it up in Munich. His last season making 32 appearances in the Bundesliga, 7 assists and 7 goals. There we go. The only bit of reservation I have over this transfer is injuries. He was a little bit injury prone when he was at City beforehand. That has carried on in his time in Munich, and it would carry on, you would think, for the rest of his career. But certainly something I think worth mentioning and thinking about. Now, moving on to the final player I want to speak about is Rafael Leao of AC Milan. He's 23 years old, he's a forward, versatile, and exactly the kind of player City normally look for. To me, this smells like a Manchester City signing. He has already been linked with us earlier in the summer. Arsenal name's been put out there as well. They're apparently interested too. AC Milan's stance is very clear. They've said that he's not for sale. You want to sign Leao? You release his clause. His release clause is 150 million euros, which obviously Manchester City are not going to activate. So to me, the only way this signing happens, certainly this summer, is Man City declaring their interest, getting an agreement in place with the player and his representatives, and then him trying to force through a move from AC Milan. It's a big ask to get that done, in my opinion. I don't think it will come this summer. I think what might happen here is he won't sign a new deal with AC Milan, and he'll look to try and run down his contract. His contract is up in the summer of 2024. Man City have a little bit more power next summer when he's got 1 year left on his contract rather than having 2, because there might be a little bit more of room for negotiations. But Leao's made 34 appearances in Serie A, had a pretty solid season, 11 goals, 10 assists, so 21 goal contributions in 34, and to me, he would prosper under the coaching and guidance that Man City can offer, including that of Pep Guardiola. Now, I just want to speak about some of my honourable mentions. As I've said in my Sterling replacement video, I've spoken about other players like Mohamed Salah. I'd be keeping an eye on his contract situation with Liverpool. To me, he's also another perfect replacement for Sterling. There aren't many players like Son. He improves our squad. Salah, in my opinion, improves our squad as well, and I'd definitely, if I was City, be keeping an eye on that. Another player I'd be keeping an eye on is Serge Gnabry of Bayern Munich, keeping an eye on his developments with his contract and whether Bayern want to sell. If we are looking at attacking players, he's definitely a player I'd be interested in if it was me, but it's just me. Another player is Christopher Nkunku. I'd love him to be here at Manchester City. He would be an amazing signing, but due to the cost, I don't see that happening again, certainly not this summer. And another player that is getting mentioned a little bit with City is Bukayo Saka of Arsenal. He's homegrown and has that advantage about him as well. So my conclusion here is there's plenty of options when it comes to a replacement for Jesus and Sterling. It's all about what direction City want to go with. Do they want to go with someone that's familiar to the Premier League? Do they want to go with a homegrown player? Do they want to take a risk on a younger player that's not as proven? Where do they want to go? What's the direction that they want to go with? I sense that City will go into the season without replacing these players and see how the season goes. It's very Manchester City to leave their squad just a little bit short. So window on window, or certainly in summer window on summer window, they've always got to make a signing or two to try and keep the squad as fresh as possible, to try and maintain the high intensity that they've got. But this is a very big summer for City, selling players, keeping hold of players and bringing players in. The summer is long, anything can happen. So there we go, that has been the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. 300 likes is the aim. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who would you like, which player to replace both Jesus and Sterling? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. We do have daily Manchester City transfer updates rolling throughout all of the summer transfer window for you guys to enjoy, so do make sure you have subscribed if you haven't already. On that push to 30k subscribers now, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Go and check out my social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too, if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. And I will see you guys all in a week. It's JSGC's time now to kick back, relax, head out on holiday and just enjoy myself. It's been a very, very long 12 months with Manchester City, and every summer, those that have been following my channel year on year on year will know every summer I like to just go away, sit back, relax, take it easy, and then come back fresh, motivated, ready to go. Rest is key, and that's what I'm going to go and do. So I will be back in exactly 7 days next weekend. I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everybody for sticking around. It is much appreciated. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day, has a wonderful weekend, and has a wonderful week as well. 7 days. I'll see you then. I've been JSGC. Peace. Ciao for now.